Hello, slimes and non-slimes alike. Rosa here. And yep, you read the title, you saw the thumbnail. Someone gets really mad in this video. But that's not what we're talking about. No. Today we're talking about the Judgment. In my last video, I said I was going to go ahead and cover the Judgment's power more in depth, as in the previous video all I really did was yap about how much I love the Judgment. But can you really blame me? This character's so fun. But yeah, no, on a more serious and criticizing note, the Judgment's power is very difficult to control, especially for beginner players. I haven't had much difficulty using it myself, but I can definitely see why many people think it is a bit of a problem. However, I think that mostly stems from the beam's inability to work in closer ranges, as one of the changes that they made from the prototype versions of the Judgment to the PTB versions we got to try was that they made it so that there was an added delay between firing your beam and when it will actually deal damage. Now, in the early access PTB a few content creators got to try out, there was a bit of a bug where the beam would just not deal damage even though it clearly showed the beam. They fixed that in the PTB, where the beam will not actually activate until it deals damage. It will simply do like the little medallion you see while charging it up, and it will slide across the floor as if you had fired the beam, but I want to actually have like the beam itself. So that's at least neat for additional feedback, but the whole mechanic as a whole is just kind of stupid in my opinion, as the more you charge the beam, the delay between the activation of the hitbox and the firing of the projectile is reduced, and it's reduced even further when you're within zealous mode, which means that if you charge up the beam a bit and you're in zealous mode, you can still just instantly hit a survivor by placing the projectile directly on top of them. You know, the whole reason why they added the delay to stop. They added the delay to prevent you from being able to do exactly that, which is kind of stupid. So all this delay really does is kind of fuck over the Judgment in closer ranges and makes them unnecessarily difficult, and what I like to call artificial difficulty. The Judgment has an unnecessary skill floor curve because of a weird restriction made only to make them harder. What this should be is that it should just be a flat delay between the activation of the projectile and the firing of it. None of this, the more you charge it, the less the delay gets, as it just doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. If you just make the delay a flat number, not only would it be more consistent across all ranges, but it would also just, you know, be fair, more fair in closer ranges, as you can actually fire the beam at short loops and have it hit people like you would expect it to. The exact numbers on this, I'm not quite sure, but like, just get rid of the mechanic of charging the beam reduces the delay, and just make the delay a flat number across all charges. That's how I would fix the Judgment. Anyway, here's a sweet double tap. I did not mean to land this double tap at all. I wanted the Aurora, but you know what? We take those. We take those indeed. So, moving on to the actual match itself, I guess, as I don't really have anything else to talk about. The Judgment's power. The projectile is still very fun. It's just that the initial delay is just kind of dumb, especially when it's uncharged, but I've already talked at length about this. So, this match was very fun. The Jill in question is the person in the thumbnail, in case you were wondering. And, honestly, it's not hard to see why. After her team saves her from exile, I find her, like, immediately, I think that's her aura right there. You can sort of see it. And I just immediately down her, and then this was before I realized that the Minimori traps you in-game. So I'm gonna hit her with the Ray of Retribution, And then she's just gonna get trapped in the game because I used the mini-mori on her, I think. I believe. I don't know. I don't think I landed a shot here at all. It's a bit awkward. Oh, I also changed up the build from last time. I swapped out the detonators for the iridescent add-on that puts your terror radius on all the shrines around the map. It's really cool. I wanted to pair this add-on with Dark Devotion and Claustrophobia. However, they nerfed Claustrophobia in this patch, which made it not really worth running in my opinion. But, you know, that's besides the point. Anyways, as I said, Jill got hit and now she's stuck in the game because I hit her with a mini-mori, which is, you know, fun. But, you know, the match isn't that long. In fact, you probably have noticed that this this video entirely was a very short one. It's just kind of what happens. I plan on making a video just covering each match for the Judgment, primarily because if I didn't, and I included multiple matches throughout every video, I simply would not have enough footage to last throughout the PTB and the weeks after it. So, yeah, no, I'm gonna stretch out this footage as long as I can. Fuck you. But, yeah, not really much else to talk about. I've already covered how I feel like we should fix the Judgment's power, even if it was a bit incohesive. I do apologize for that. Maybe I'll go back and make a short form video that's more cohesive, I suppose. But the Judgment has a very fun power. I do really like the 180 flicks, which is why I don't particularly mind them having this sort of blind spot in their power, because I do really like going for the 180 flicks, even though I miss most of them. But I don't really feel like that's a problem with, you know, playing this killer on controller. I feel like that's just more a problem of me sucking off garbage. But, you know, I land a nice double tap there on the Dwight, so that's pretty cool. I see the Aurora's aura with my perk combo, so I go ahead, I hit her with Heresy. And now what's fun about Exile is that when you exile someone, all heretics are revealed to you with Killer Instinct. So I use that Killer Instinct to go ahead and hit her here. Fuck. I do hit her, like, right here, I think. I think I just... Yeah, I missed the two shots there, but I do hit her here, I think? Yeah, I hit her there. And as you can see, I just spawned the fucking projectile directly on top of her, because reducing the delay, the more you charge it, doesn't fix the issue that you added the delay for. How many times am I going to reiterate that point? Probably just that time. Anyways, video's over. I'll see you all next time. Cheerio.